People keep asking me, is the rental business dead in 2026? Isn't insurance like super hard to navigate nowadays? Is the market super saturated? Everyone's focused on that. The market's too saturated. This is too risky of a business. Short answer to those questions is no. The long answer to this question is that 90% of people that try to get into this business will ultimately fail. But it's always been that way. I've been in this business for 8 years. And through my 8 years in the industry, I've literally seen so many people come and go in such a short amount of time. Nothing has changed in that regard. If you don't already know, my name is Etienne. I built one of the largest exotic car rental companies in all of California. Scaled that business to over $1 million per year. We had the largest exotic car fleet, direct in-house fleet in all of San Diego. I ran that business on the consignment strategy, which is leveraging other people's money. Essentially, they're purchasing vehicles for your fleet. I have other videos where I talk about this business model if you're interested in checking that out. I've separated from my business partnership that I started the exotic car rental company with. I moved across the country, and essentially I'm rebuilding my own car rental business as we speak. So I started from scratch. I had no business. I had no customers. I had a brand new Turo account. I'll also talk about private rentals in this video. As a case study, I'm restarting the business currently on a Turo account, and I've taken that account from zero to over $10,000 a month already in less than 3 months. Platforms even like Turo are pushing out bad operators and amateur operators. I'm gonna get some contradiction here. I think Turo is still a great place to be for part of your car rental business, especially if you're in the economy car line, just because they're right now focused on business-minded people. A lot of people on Turo are car sharing and they're doing it as like a side hustle or side income. But I think Turo is taking that pivot to focus on people that want to grow large fleets and that are completely business-minded. Here's the truth for 2026 and why this is a golden opportunity business right now. A lot of bad operators are getting pushed out of business. This also goes in the private car rental market. Just a lot of bad operators, they're going out the window. And this creates opportunities for legit operators and people that know how to scale their business to come in and just absolutely kill it. Experienced operators are also starting to know all the red flags and to know who not to rent to. If you know what you're doing, the chances are that you encounter sticky situations are very, very slim to none. And when you do encounter scarier situations like accidents and stuff like that, you know how to manage them, and you've rented to good people that are also going to be cooperative in the process. So what does that mean for 2026? It means less competition. It just means more professionalism. And eventually this is leading into better margins, believe it or not. The industry is maturing, so people who treat this like a real business have a really great chance for success. So that's creating a huge opportunity for people to come in and grow really large fleets and make a lot of money. Insurance is also a huge thing right now. A lot of people want to get into the business, but they're really scared because of insurance. They hear these horror stories. If you have the right system in place and the right risk management, insurance does not have to be a scary thing to manage. Insurance can be a pain, but it is what it is, and that's just part of the business. So as long as you go in with the right strategies, and even if that means disqualifying a lot of renters or whatever it may be, then it just is what it is. It's going to save you a lot more money in the long run. It can still lead 2026 to be a great year to get into the car rental industry. A lot more people at once are getting into the business, so a lot more people at once are getting driven out of the business. But the industry standard has remained the same. And as long as you're coming in with the right systems and the right steps, this is still a very profitable business for 2026. Experienced operators in 2026, they're able to raise their prices. There's a lot more professionalism going on in the business as it's pivoting away from amateurs. Turo has created an opportunity for a lot of people to get into the game. And so now a lot of private car rental networks are popping up. And it's just really creating a great environment for people to network with each other and for small boutique private car rental business to grow together across the country. Let's break down what's been changing that leads people into these questions, especially going into 2026 and everything that's kind of happened over the last couple of years that's shaping the industry moving forward. The biggest changes that I'm starting to see are changes in insurance, the way personal insurance is covering during rentals. Commercial insurance is changing quite a bit as well. Renters' behavior has gotten so bad. Repairs for body damage, repairs for mechanical damage, especially on specialty vehicles, is taking a lot longer for specialty parts to come. There's a lot more amateurs in the market, meaning amateur car rental companies. They're renting to bad clients, which is in turn causing more accidents. With the volume that these companies are popping up and renting to bad people, it is creating a market of bad renters because these bad renters know that they can go to a lot of these places and just go rent a car from them. Platforms like Turo are taking away control from hosts as far as pricing and other things. They're making it harder for unexperienced people to get higher margins, especially margins that we used to see back in 2021 and 22. A lot of these people are getting crushed during these changes just because they're not using the right systems when they start their businesses. A lot of these people are buying cars that they just simply can't afford. They think that, well, I technically can't afford the payment on this car, so I'm just going to buy it and rent it out and it'll offset the payment. In theory, that works, but there's a lot more behind that. A lot of these people, especially in the exotic car rental business, maybe not so much in the economy space, but when it comes to exotic, luxury, and sports cars, a lot of people understand cars very well, but they don't understand the business very well. So here's what we do know that's still working in 2026. Number one is the consignment model. Again, I have other videos talking about this in more depth, but essentially it's getting other people to purchase vehicles or current vehicle owners to give you their cars to manage. You rent them out for a split and you're really not responsible for payments, insurance, and yada yada. Pretty much all the exotic car rental companies, luxury car rental companies, even quite a bit of economy car rental companies operate on this business model, whether you know it or not. When you're calling around and you're checking to go rent a Lamborghini in really any major city, chances are they're brokering that car from another exotic car rental company, and even bigger chances are is that that car is not even owned by an exotic car rental company, it's owned by an individual or put under a business from that individual. This business model works because you're leveraging people that already have a lot of money. So you're not putting your money at risk. You're not putting your credit at risk. It also allows you to scale way, way faster than you could if you try to do this on your own. Ownership within exotic cars is the worst place to start in the business. With economy cars, it can be a different story if you're purchasing smart. You really got to know what you're doing when you're purchasing vehicles. You really want to get your feet wet in the game before you attempt to go out and purchase vehicles, especially exotic and luxury vehicles. To make this business worth it in 2026, it's all going to come down to risk management. You're essentially like a risk management company rather than a car rental company if you want to be profitable. You don't want to rely on insurance. What I mean by that is that you don't want to just rent to literally everyone that just presents you an insurance card thinking it's good to go and just relying on that insurance, hoping they don't crash the car. You want to make sure that, again, accidents happen. That's why they're called accidents. But you want to make sure that the people you're letting in these vehicles have a good chance of not getting themselves into an accident in the first place. You want to prevent claims before they actually happen. Majority of this business, and this is what you hear across social media and Reddits and literally everywhere, and this is true, is that you're relying on the renter's insurance to cover you. You might even have commercial insurance. You might have a CSL. Those are for extreme case scenarios. But if you file a claim with any of those insurance providers, something does happen, chances are that you get reconsidered for insurance can be pretty low, or your premiums are just going to be so high that you're not going to be able to make any profit in the business. The thing you want to do is you want to prevent those claims from happening in the first place. I've seen a lot of operators in my market that I've brokered cars to and whatnot. They call me after the fact. Well, this guy told me he had full coverage insurance. He sent me his binder. Well, did you call and verify that insurance? Well, no, because he sent me the document. Red flag, right? Those are situations that are going to get you in hot water. So you want to make sure that you take the preventative steps before things like that even happen. Other things when it comes to risk control is taking higher deposits, taking deposits on credit cards, and making sure you really vet your renters before you give them the keys to your car. There's a lot of bad renters out there that are going to try to steal your vehicle, or they have the cash, but maybe they're not legit people. They got their money through scamming or whatever other means, and they just don't have a secure basis. I'm not judging people on how they make their money necessarily, but if this is someone you can't go after in court because they have no assets, or if this is someone that just doesn't have a high enough deposit or a credit card you can pull from in a case of incidents, or you didn't verify their insurance and just everything can be like a complete mess, then you're running a high risk business and chances are you're going to go out of business. Just really comes down to that risk management and really vetting your renters. If you've been enjoying this video and you already run a car rental company and you're looking to scale efficiently, or you're looking to start your own car rental company, regular or exotic, I offer one-on-one mentorship. You can apply to work with me directly with the link in the description below. I am only accepting a limited number of students because I do work with them one-on-one, so please keep that in mind. Another thing is going to be vehicle selection in 2026. So you're going to want the right vehicles for your specific market. Just because you have the capital and you want to go out and you want to go buy a Lamborghini Aventador, that doesn't mean that that car is going to rent well in your city at all. And that can put you in a huge financial debt. So you want to make sure that you're purchasing vehicles according to what your market is demanding. Maybe your market doesn't even demand Lamborghinis at all. Maybe your market only wants lower end luxury cars or sports cars like a Corvette C8. Maybe you just need to acquire enough of those vehicles that are still fun to be around till you can purchase your own Lamborghini. Just because you want a car, and this goes for any car, doesn't mean you should purchase it just so that you can own it and rent it out. You need to listen to your market. You need to listen to what your market needs. If you're doing the consignment business model, you don't want to guide investors to purchase the wrong vehicles. It's going to put a bad taste in their mouth. They might pull their vehicle because it's not performing. And also, a lot of these investors will end up purchasing more vehicles for your fleet if the first ones do well. They'll also give good word of mouth, so they might bring in other investors for you. What you want to make sure is that you have your vehicle selection really on point. You need to do your market research, and you need to guide people to just buy the right cars if you're not the one purchasing them yourself. A lot of the people that are trying to scare you from the business or have had bad experiences, chances are they were just poor operators. Again, because of the volume of these people that we saw coming into this business in such a short amount of time, it really just exposed the amount of people that are leaving the business because of the people that came into the business. It's kind of like all the bad things that you see on social media now. And you're like, why am I seeing all this stuff on social media all the time? Well, because it's social media and everyone has the power to share their experiences and share their stories. Just because a lot of more people have access to social media is why you think that these things are happening all the time, but really things haven't changed that much. And it's the same in the car rental industry. It's because people have the power to share their stories, and so many people got into the business, so you're just seeing so many more stories that are shared because of that. People think the car rental industry is dying, but they really never talk about the growth that's happening actually in the industry. The car rental industry is actually a $100 billion industry. Think about how long car rentals have been around and how long it's taken for that industry to go from nothing to a $100 billion industry. In the next 5 years, that growth annually is projected to grow to $200 billion. Think about how much of an explosive growth that is in just 5 years. That means in just 5 years, what it's taken all these years for the car rental industry to get to is going to double. That means there's such massive opportunity worldwide to grow in the car rental business. It's really insane. Think about all the different factors that we discussed in the video. Plus you combine that with the projected growth in the business. There's really a golden opportunity right now for good operators to come in and absolutely make a killing and grow huge, sustainable car rental companies and really make a lot of money in this business. So to finally answer the question, is 2026 a good year to start a car rental company? It is if you're doing it correctly. And as I had mentioned in this video already, it really comes down to just being a good operator, doing things correctly. I've been in the business for 8 years, and the only reason we're seeing so many people fail is because so many people started. And that's just like that in any industry that you see. We see this across drop shipping and Forex and all these other businesses on an even higher scale. If you come in and you have the right systems and the right steps, this is a great business to start in 2026. You don't want to be one of these people that gets left behind in this golden era of an industry. This is not like drop shipping where people are just trying to sell you a dream. The car rental industry has actual demand, and it's going to continue to have actual demand. What's driving people out is not the failure to generate revenue, it's the failure to control their risks. So if you're controlling your risk properly and you know how to grow in this business, you can do really well for yourself. You don't want to miss this opportunity. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I think there's really only a few more years to get into it and grow aggressively. I'm not saying you can't get into this business in 10 years from now, but I'm saying if you want to get in now and grow fast, now is the time. If you've enjoyed this video and this is something you want to get into, or you're already in the business and you're having trouble scaling, click the link in the description below. You can apply to work with me one-on-one directly. Again, I'm only taking a certain number of students. I do work with everyone one-on-one. With that said, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and comment with any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer them. Until then, we'll see you in the next video.